Hello, I'm Judy Stiles. Thank you for joining us this week on Newsmakers. Well, many communities have festivals, especially in the fall, and today we're focusing on one in its 18th year, the Carl Junction Bluegrass Festival. Joining me, Gary Stubblefield and Chuck Doyle. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
18 years, and the Chamber is now taking control of the festival, or organizing everything for us.
We took over last year, and it's a great festival. It represents everything the Chamber's about, showing off our town and bringing people to town. So it was a natural fit.
And I know we've done this show before in previous years, and Chuck, this program has really grown over the years from when you started off as original Bluegrass Festival.
Oh my goodness, we'd see a few thousand, some years ago, and now we're seeing, in the 5 digits. It's incredible.
So really the growth and attendance, opportunities of different types of activities as well have grown over the years.
It has grown, and we've added 2 more components just in the past year.
So an annual event like this takes a lot of planning, a lot of work. I know both of you, having been on the show before, are behind the scenes, a lot of work going on. But you've got a lot of committee work, a lot of volunteers. Tell me a little about what makes something like this happen.
Well, there's a lot of volunteers, and it's a year-round process. And we would be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to Glenda Henson, who does a lot of the work behind the scenes without any tribute ever being paid. So we want to definitely do that today. The day of the event, that last check, we had a spreadsheet with 133 volunteer slots. So it takes a village, and it's a year-round project.
So year-round, you are having this event on September 26th this year. As soon as it finishes, you start saying, what are we doing a year from now?
Absolutely.
And Chuck, with the music coordinator, you have had these music groups coming for years. Are some of them, they just automatically put it on the calendar?
Some of them, yeah, they're traditional. People expect them, and they always want to see them again. And the thing that I've really enjoyed is discovering how many bands we have in the region. I don't have to look far. There is one band that comes in from across the country, but they travel through and play in this area anyways. And it's just fun to have them back, and it makes some of the choices, real simple to make. But there's always a few slots that we rotate in and out.
Now the event, obviously, they're calling it the Bluegrass Festival, focusing on music. Its heritage starts off with, let's share some music for the community.
It's an American heritage. That's what makes Bluegrass special. It's our music. And it's tied to every major music form out there, rock, blues, the whole 9 yards. And I like seeing how many different people come out. Some of them haven't heard much bluegrass at all, but they immediately fall in love with it. Because it's just got a piece of everything in it, and every band has its own sort of take on it, their own flavor, as I say, and that's what makes it fun to listen to.
And of course, we're having people listen to the music. We have some video, I believe. We can kind of roll some video of the bands while we talk about it. I bet it's a tough choice sometimes in selecting the bands, just getting the people together for this.
Oh, it's sometimes tough. People call you and want to come in, but everybody has a chance, and it's enjoyable, and it's fun to get to know the bands. That's one of our local acts that we've brought in last year, and we'll have them again this year. And Carl Junction knows them well, so we're always glad to have this band out. This next one you're seeing was someone we brought in for the first time. Nathan Mcallister is well known in the region, one of the best banjo pickers, and picks a lot of other instruments as well. He brings in a very good traditional flavor. He plays different styles of bluegrass himself. He's like an encyclopedia of bluegrass himself.
Okay.
He's a pretty sharp guy.
So people don't realize, if you don't know bluegrass music, the variety that's involved.
Yeah.
And something, and I was guilty of this too. Initially, I thought, well, I don't think I like bluegrass. But once you get down there, you realize, yes, you do. You know this music.
Can't help but not like it.
And it's just a great backdrop throughout the whole day to have a continuous day of music.
And different size groups. Here you have a little larger group performing.
Yeah, this group's from Carthage, and they play a real rousing style and really get into their performance a lot. They're good old boys. They're fun to be around, and tell a lot of jokes and make a lot of noise. So I've had them back a couple times, and I love this family right here. The 3 in the middle are a new version of a band that we used to have every year. So it was just a natural transition to bring them in. And the Johnson family is well known in the area, and they really have a lot of talent in that little group right there.
A lot of variety. Just in the video we've seen so far, the variety in the instruments as well. People think, oh, you just have a banjo and a guitar. You really have a variety.
Oh yeah, you'll see full bands that have a dobro. Some bands don't have a dobro. Some don't have a banjo, and some do. And some have a great fiddle player, and some don't. So you get to hear a little of everything in each band, and they make a good combination together. No matter how you put it.
Put the music together. And by looking at the video, it looks like people are able to sit, I guess, basically on both sides of the stage, taking the music.
Yeah, they could walk right out in front, just like those people did. You can get right up close. I remember one year. That band we were just looking at, the earlier version, the Old Dogs, New Tricks, the system went out completely, and they just merely stepped out right over those hay bales, right into the grass there. Everyone could still hear them, and it kept right on playing. It was fantastic. This is a really good traditional band with sort of an Irish style to their music, and they play at Silverado City almost every year. They've come through. They've been playing with us every year.
Since the first of the
Yes,
festival.
I believe so. And so it's like having family back for reunion.
So in the music world, these bands are actually traveling together. They see each other as they perform on a lot of locations.
The ones who are real serious about it, yeah, they do travel. And the regional ones, they just get together every week and rehearse and jam and hang out with each other. So, it's a little easier for them. This is a band we brought in last year. We're bringing them in again this year. This is Barry Wynn and Fly By Night out of the Springfield, Ozark, Nixa area. And it's interesting to see a band kind of headed up by the mandolin player, and this is a very unique feature of this band. But I got to tell you, every single one of those musicians are top notch. They really put on a good show last year. Look forward to seeing them this year.
And from the audience perspective, it's just kind of bring your own blanket, bring your own chair.
Definitely want to bring your own lawn chair, but there's not a bad space. I mean, you're under a canopy of trees, and you can sit wherever you want, and if the sun moves, you can move with it. But definitely bring a lawn chair or a blanket.
There were many people last year who, even as you can even see, they're sitting behind the stage. Could hear it clearly, nice and shady and comfortable. And I think that's what makes our park really special, and what has made this event grow every year is because it's got such a great ambiance in the air. The sounds are nice, the shade is nice, the weather hopefully will continue to be nice. And it brings out everybody in a very easy, relaxing atmosphere, very family friendly. You're not going to have to exert a lot. Everything's really close together in close walking distance. It's the best place we could have a small festival, and it keeps getting bigger, but I think we're going to keep it right there.
Keep it inside. So you don't really feel crowded when you're there. I mean, you can see the people have enough elbow room as they're setting up their chairs and listening.
Oh yeah.
We had a 50% increase last year in attendance, and it still fit. And it still stayed true to why this started. Jim Wisdom, the late Jim Wisdom, who was mayor, wanted to show off this park and how beautiful it was. He had a neighbor that was into bluegrass.
Yeah,
Is that how
Randy, right?
Very, very simple, yeah. And 18 years later, it's the exact same thing. It's showing off a park, a beautiful park, and keeping it family-oriented, kid-friendly, free admission.
And you're bringing in not only bands from throughout the region, but you have people from throughout the region who mark this on their calendar and come forward.
They do. It's fun to shout out who's from where, out in the crowd, and some of them do come from Kansas and Oklahoma, and I think even farther too. I'm looking forward to seeing
Kind of
where
look
they're
at the
coming
license
from.
plates as people pull in and know where they're from.
Well, it's kind of old hometown week because a lot of people that have grown up in Carl Junction area come back to visit and make this when they plan their vacation.
Kind of an unofficial homecoming in sense for
Absolutely,
many people to come
yeah.
back for the festival
Yeah.
and tying it together. So music being a major aspect, and I know last year you mentioned the growth. You also received some recognition this year from the governor.
We did.
Tell me about that.
I'm as dumbfounded as you are. It was very nice, and I'll tell you that initiated with Senator Ron Richard, and he pushed John up to Governor Nixon, saying, this is not an easy thing to do year after year, especially keep it free admission. But we found a way to do that, and it holds true to Carl Junction's ideals, but also to Missouri's. And Governor Nixon came out with some very nice words recently.
So he recognized the impact that this
absolutely.
has on not only the region but the state.
Absolutely.
It's happening statewide along those lines. We have a lot of events happening, and I know this year you have a lot beyond the music. If people want to come and enjoy the music, it's pretty much start to finish each day. You have some band playing throughout the day.
It kicks off at 9:30?
Yep. 9:30 all the way to 6, and the last band plays until then, I believe. Yep.
Okay, so-
And so it's a nice, easy day.
And then you'll have a schedule of bands. If somebody has their favorite, if they saw one of the groups up there on the video, they say, I want to make sure I catch them. There's a place they can find out when that band's going to be playing?
CarlJunctionCC.com, CC for Chamber of Commerce,
Right.
has a bluegrass tab, and that kind of gives you all the things that we probably could never cover just in the short time we're going to be here.
We also have a Facebook page that's easily accessible, Carl Junction Bluegrass Festival, 4th September, every year, and you can find that and find up-to-date information.
So as things happen, you can update it and let us know what's happening. So music being a big performance, but also with the festival, you have food, you have other aspects. Let's talk about some of the other things. You can eat while you go there as well.
Well, you can show up at 8. We'll even have breakfast vendors.
Yeah.
We expand the food vendors just enough that each one is successful and sells out. But we want to make sure that they all sell out.
Right.
But we've expanded that to 15 food vendors this year, and there's kind of a variety of flavors. Obviously, barbecue and funnel cakes.
Some of the traditional things you would find, right?
But also gyros will be done. We'll have some Greek food. We'll have some Asian food. So a little bit of everything for everyone. And
don't forget the baked goods that are always there every year.
So if you have a sweet tooth, you can find it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, and a lot of those things, like the pies, you can take a pie home.
So buy a whole pie, not just a slice to eat there. Bring it home for the dinner and so forth. Well, I know we have some pictures that you have as well. We can talk over some of them perhaps as we're visiting. But arts and crafts also are a traditional aspect of festivals. Tell me about, not only can you buy food, but you have a lot of people who just want to show their talents.
Since day one, it's been the bluegrass, and arts and crafts have been a big part of it. But this is going to be our biggest year ever for arts and crafts vendors. We'll probably have twice as many, and the caliber of the arts and crafts that's coming in, we've got a lot of great talent in this area.
Right.
But everything from wood carvings to pottery to jewelry, you name it. So it's really a great shopping experience. This is where you're going to get things that you're not going to get in a big box retailer.
Right.
It's one of a kind, it's unique, but it's extremely affordable. And throughout the day, we've got shuttle service. So we can get your packages to your car.
So you don't have to carry them around all day.
Yeah, we've got a fleet of golf carts.
Headed by our own wonderful mayor, Mike Moss. He will be driving the lead car. So
your volunteers will be helping out throughout the day behind the scenes along those lines. So you have a lot of that support. And then in looking at your information that you had online, you also have aspects. And this year I noticed a raffle for a guitar.
Well, that has expanded.
Okay.
The guitar raffle, every year Ernie Williams Music is extremely generous to us and donates a guitar and $1 a ticket.
Right.
And last year the woman who won, I still get tickled thinking about her. She just came running through the festival. She was so excited. She was.
Yeah.
Well, this year we're also adding a banjo. And it's a custom banjo that we're working again with Ernie Williamson and Data Graphics Printing here in Joplin. So we'll have 2 instruments up for raffle.
Wow.
And just on the subject of banjos, Doug Crane will be there again.
Yes.
If you want to actually see a banjo being made, this man handcrafts banjos. And so that will be going on too.
In the early American style, you'll learn what a plectrum is.
So how you started from scratch with making a banjo years ago, kind of a history lesson.
Very
for
fascinating.
People. Tying that in. How do they get these tickets? Do they have to go up that day to purchase them? How do you get a raffle ticket?
Between now and the festival, you can see and buy your raffle tickets on the guitar at Carl Junction City Hall and the banjo at Ernie Williamson.
Okay.
The day of the festival, we'll bring both instruments down. You'll be able to continue to buy. You do not need to be present to win.
Okay. So they can just fill their name out.
But we hope you are, because we want to see the expression on your face. Yeah.
That's right. Is there a certain time of day when you'll have the drawing for that?
What time are we?
Later in the afternoon?
Well, I don't.
Was it 2 or was it 4?
It was sometime
I
later in
want
the
to sell up till
afternoon.
the bitter end. I think it's around 4.
Everybody gets a chance, that's what
so
we want.
Like go a little bit late so they can still get a chance. Festivals also, I know last year when you talked or past couple of years about car shows.
The car and bike show, there's Ken Phillips is a local organizer of car shows, so he's helping with that, and we expect that to be another big year. We're trying to figure out where to put more of the cars and bikes. And so that's something that has happened since day one, I think, on the festival.
Yeah, always has.
But bringing him in last year, he brought his own following, and so we saw some amazing cars.
So do people register in advance for that? Is there a procedure through your website?
Day of.
Oh, okay.
Day
Just
of.
show up that day with your car.
Yeah,
And
it's like $15, and we've got 50 dash plaques, 25 top
Awards.
There's like 25 trophies.
People get to vote for their favorite vehicle.
There is,
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the public voting as they walk through
The
the crowd.
50-50 pot, and so yeah, it's a big deal. And on the car show and a lot of the other components of the festival, like the 5K, which is the night before, and the duck race, it always benefits a different charity. So that's the one thing that the chamber wanted to do as we took it over, is make sure that not only does it show off the town and everyone, but benefit. And so different things will benefit our Bright Futures program, our youth program, youth scholarship program through the chamber, a local breast cancer organization, actually 2 breast cancer organizations, and the local food pantry will benefit from our chili cook-off.
Okay, so as people are buying these chances or these tickets, their money then is being given to these organizations, the charities.
And so
in the community.
it's doing a good
Going on to
work.
help others throughout the community. You mentioned duck races, and what about children's activities? People, I saw in the video, people with kids.
Bounce houses everywhere, face painting.
Face painting.
Maybe they'll bring out the fish again. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, pony rides.
The FFA brings out a petting zoo as well. That's always been a lot of fun. The train, where the kids can ride a little train that goes around, and plenty of things to do.
Spigo Center for the Arts and Art Feeds both will be there, so there'll be some great creative activities.
Hands-on for the kids.
So there's a lot for the kids to do, lots of shopping. There's something for, everyone.
People
in the
of all
family,
ages.
really, all ages,
Right.
yeah.
I'm curious, you mentioned duck race. Explain that for our viewers.
2,000 rubber ducks will be dumped into Center Creek, and you'll be able to buy those chances also at Carl Junction City Hall. And
so your number will be on the bottom of a duck race.
And that benefits Bright Futures, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
So
I think
all the ducks float in mass down the creek, and then the one that gets to the finish line
If you may kind of
get caught on the side or something.
get caught up, but there's going to be one lucky duck.
they are all saved at the end, though. Don't worry.
Somebody has the job of getting all those ducks back out.
There's actually quite a few that are in the creek rounding them out. It's a mess, but it's fun.
It's fun. So people stand on the shoreline and cheer. They try to figure out which duck is there is going through the water and trying to find it. What time of day does that happen?
I think that's right around 2 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they will sell those ducks if they're not already sold. They will sell them right up until the lunchtime.
Okay, so it's time to put them all in the water. Now the chili competition. Tell me how that works.
That used to happen, and then it kind of went away. We brought it back for the first time last year. Again, we decided to reach out to someone locally that knows how to do these things. And that's John Tupper. The Cassidy chili competitions cook-offs that go around the area. He's with the Mocan Chili Pod. You actually will cook on site. There's 2 divisions. There's the Cassie division, and they have to turn in their chili at noon, and then the homestyle at 12:30.
So distinguish the 2 differences, what you mean by the 2 divisions. For people.
Well, the ones that are in the Cassie division, they're going for points.
So it's kind of a professional rank.
But the judging is very similar, texture and aroma and flavor, and they'll be judged. They'll be first, second, and third.
All right.
The trophies are being custom made by Phoenix Fired Art, wanting to again celebrate our local artists, and that benefits our local Helping Hands food pantry.
So the homestyle division, John Doyle can come in and make
anyone and you can enter. It's $20 to enter, or if you want to enter both, it's $35.
Okay.
And tell them who's judging.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who gets to taste this? How do you decide who's
Well, we could use another judge, Judy.
somebody likes chili.
Cheryl Finley is one, and it's being sponsored by State Representative Charlie Davis. So he's going to have a
He's going to be
That's
tasting.
right. He'll be right there.
but he wanted to make sure that all the money raised went to the food pantry. So the costs that are incurred, he's covering that. Very, very generous man.
Then you say sponsored by, I know in looking at your information, your posters and what you have online, it looks like you have a lot of sponsorships this year with things.
Well, it's a free admission event. Now, mind you, we'll still accept donations. It's not easy to put on a free admission event. There's a lot of fixed cost, but we reached out. That was one thing that the chamber was able to do, whereas when the city was running, they really couldn't. We, as a chamber, could say to our members, let's take ownership in this and show support. So our presenting sponsor is Jeff Asbell, Excavating and Trucking. I sent an email to all our members saying we're gonna need sponsorships, and in just under 4 minutes, my phone rang, and it was Jake Asbell, Jeff's son, and he took that spot so that families can come in for free.
Great. So throughout the day, the different events, so people will see plaques or notifications sponsored by someone.
And you know, and I would ask that when you see those banners and you see those names shouted out, support those people, because those people really have done a good thing.
So for you as the head of the chamber, this says a lot about your chamber members, that they are not only coming for the fun, but they're willing to invest in what you're doing.
They are, and they believe very much in our mission of building a stronger CJ.
Of course, we say the Carl Junction Chamber of Commerce, but it doesn't stop right necessarily at the city limits. Some of your sponsors aren't necessarily, you're kind of the reach throughout the region.
We're at 279 members. 73% of our membership is actually located outside of Carl Junction. But you know, it's a regional economy, and all our members know that, and their bottom line is, let's support each other. We'll all grow, regardless of where we work or live or our businesses are based.
So really, no matter what community someone who lives in who might be watching this program, these types of things benefit the region as you have these types of events.
Yeah. And they're with us every step of the way, and making sure this money then goes back correctly into the community.
That's right. Now, you mentioned a 5K race. Some people love to run. They say, how do I get involved with that? And that's the night before?
Last year was the first year for it, and we did it in the morning, and this year they're changing it up. It's going to be the night before, the 25th. It's a 7:12 p.m. start.
So just as the sun is setting.
As the sun is setting that day, it's a glow run and banjo dash. And if you go to carljunctioncc.com, you can find out how you can actually register the night of. And that too benefits.
And that'll be taking you through Carl Junction, the path?
And so they've redone a route that's easier.
People said, I don't like certain hills.
Listen to the feedback.
We didn't want to get lost in the dark or anything.
Right. So if you're a dedicated runner and want to try a different place of running, this is an opportunity to do that.
It is, and to know that you're benefiting a good cause.
Right. Well, a lot of things that are happening, and one thing we haven't talked to specifically is how to get there, where to park. You know, some of our viewers may not have been to the event, so we've been saying in general terms the park. So give us the details as far as how can someone find your event?
Well, it's in Center Creek Park. If you were going to plug it into the GPS, that's 201 Valley.
Okay.
But if you're coming in on 171, you're going to turn on Pennell. You're going to see a big granite monument that says Carl Junction welcomes you. You're going to go up Pennell, and if you make a left onto Arlington, all roads head back south, actually deposit you into Center Creek Park.
So they're all going to feed into that park.
We have a couple different parking options this year, and this is something new. We always have the free parking where they're going to get you through. Then we've created some VIP parking where we have continuous golf cart shuttle just dedicated to those patrons. So if you want to go in and look around and then go back to your car, or maybe do some shopping and take your packages back, it doesn't matter. That golf cart shuttle is there for you all day, and it's a $5 parking option. And the reason we had to expand that is last year they were parking as far as the Christian church. These people were parking 6 to 10 blocks away.
Long
and
walk just to get
in.
to the park.
But again, we were kind of surprised by the 50% increase in attendance. So we are working with Kevin Parker Development, who has some land right next to the park, and he's helping us with that available land for the VIP parking, so that should help on the congestion.
We'll continue the Missouri Mounted Guard again, too.
Missouri Mounted Guard assist, and we have a fleet of golf carts that get you around. Certainly there's handicap parking, and
handicap accessibility for people?
Yes,
absolutely.
And from the music aspect, throughout the day you have all this different music. I imagine that people just leave that. What's your feeling for you at the end of the evening after you've heard all this music all day long? What's it like?
It's invigorating. It's relaxing at the same time. It's peaceful. It's enjoyable. It's a chance to sit back and just relax, let your cares go away, listen to something you never heard before maybe, or something that you have. You'll hear versions of songs that everyone knows.
Right.
You'll hear originals. You'll hear all sorts of styles, and you might see people you know. You might see people that you're going to meet for the first time, and you can go up and meet them, shake their hand, say hi to them, buy their CDs or whatever they have, and get to know some folks, because they live and work in these areas in Southwest Missouri, and they're part of the culture and part of the people, and they hang out with each other. You know, they'll go in the back and jam together just for fun, and so it is like a reunion. You can sit out on the grass and relax. You can sit on a hay bale, and just enjoy the day. Go eat something, come back, sit down. It's all good. It's a really good. It's a good family fun feeling.
And it's kind of, we can come and go as far as, if you
makes
don't
it
have
sound
all
very
day.
relaxing,
Right.
doesn't it?
If you have things going on, but you want to make it the afternoon, I'll go in the afternoon. All right, you want to go in the morning, so you can come and
Absolutely.
go throughout the day.
And a lot of people, I think, they look at the band they want to see in particular. So.
Yeah. And I think that's how you can fit so many people in areas. They just kind of come and go and throughout the day and enjoy it, and it's at your own pace.
Good. Well, I know we've mentioned earlier in the program how to find out more information, but for our viewers who may have tuned in a little late, how do they get more details? We've just kind of touched the tip of the iceberg, but where do they go online? What do they need to do?
Well, online, Carl Junction CC, Chamber of Commerce,
Right.
carljunctioncc.com. On Facebook, Carl Junction Chamber of Commerce, or no, Carl Junction Bluegrass Festival. Or you could call Carl Junction City Hall, 649-7237.
Okay, and we've seen up on the screen, they've been giving us a preview, I guess, of the website, trying to tie things together.
Yeah,
So,
there we go.
they would just go to the proper drop down.
Just drop to the Bluegrass tab there and everything you need.
And everything you need forward. So information that you're able to look at, and here you go. Basically the basic information, but more details, the times, the cost for things like we've talked about with competitions, everything you need to know right there.
Absolutely.
Well, what do you enjoy the most about this? I know we've talked in the past, and it's something that you're both very enthusiastic about. So, what do you enjoy most about being able to present this type of program?
Okay, well, funnel cakes.
The food.
To address this in order. Honestly, and it's a lot of work. And you can kind of get so caught up on how busy it is, and then you see the kids, and that does it. Yeah.
Once the day hits, it's time to enjoy it. That's how I feel about it. It's just time to sit back and enjoy the people. I mean, every band that comes in, they're like old friends. They appreciate being asked to play. I appreciate them coming to play. Right. And they want to come back every year because they enjoy the atmosphere, and they enjoy the people coming up to them and getting to talk with them and getting to know them. So I enjoy the people, and I enjoy the funnel cakes and the pie and
all the other choices.
All the other food, yeah.
So to remind people, we're looking at Saturday the 26th of September.
Absolutely.
In Carl Junction.
You can get in the park at 8 o'clock. The bands kick off at 9:30, run until 6. Okay. A lot of I think the car show trophies will be handed out around 2 o'clock, as will the Center Creek Duck Race. So that's a great time to be there.
Be there in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
Some of the big activities. Well, I'd like to thank both of you for visiting today and sharing some information with our audience. Thank you.
Very
You're welcome. And I'd like to thank you for joining us this week on Newsmakers. I'm Judy Stiles. Hope you can join me again next week at the same time on this station. We'll see you then.